Retro Zone.
Today's hip episode is brought to you by our groovy patrons over at patreon.com/Animanicast. Special thanks goes out to Brian, Micah, Marjorie, Marty, Tutorials by Smiles, Bemused Horseman, Christian, Eric, James, Kyle, McCoy, MJ, Nebby, Quetzal, Rapid Kirby 3K, Tamara, The Cartoon Gamer, and Weffy. And if you'd like to join these hepcats, head on over to patreon.com/Animanicast right now. You can support our podcast and get hours and hours of bonus audio and Animaniacs commentaries with the creator of Animaniacs, Tom Ruger. It's all over at patreon.com/Animanicast. And welcome everybody to a Pinky in the Brain episode of the Animanicast.
Yes! I mean, Marvy!
Hey, Brain Doggy, how about a song?
Brain Doggy Mambo! A Brain Doggy Mambo! A Brain Doggy Mambo! Is the song that we sing.
I'm a way out crazy surf Nick, traveling from shore to shore.
When the kids all dig his grooving, he's the one they adore. Brain Doggy Mambo! Brain Doggy Mambo! Brain Doggy Mambo! Is the song that we sing.
Welcome, everybody, once again to the Animanicast. This is the podcast, of course, that is exclusively dedicated to the animated television series Pinky and the Brain, as well as other shows within the Rugerverse, such as Tiny Toon Adventures, Animaniacs, and, of course, Freakazoid. But tonight, you might be asking yourself, what are we going to do tonight? Well, the same thing we do every night. Try to talk about Pinky and the Brain! That's right, we're going to revisit all the cultural references and gags from an episode of the Pinky and the Brain spinoff. And of course, we're going to give it a water tower rating. I am Joey, and joining me are my lab mice partners. There's my brother Nathan.
Brain Doggy Mambo!
Mambo. And spooky. And across the country in Georgia, there's Kelly.
Hey.
All right. Well, today we picked a very summer-esque themed episode of Pinky and the Brain. At least half of it is. This is an episode that was voted on by our patrons, and it was actually a tie between this and another episode. I won't say what it is, but I will say to the patrons that I did watch both episodes, and it was a hard decision to make. But I picked this one because it has summer is kind of the theme, and we just started the summer. So why the heck not? This, of course, includes the segments Brains Night Off and Beach Blanket Brain. This is episode 52 of the series, which you can find by going to your nearest DVD or Hulu. Go to Season 3, Episode 27. There you go. All right. Well, if someone were to ask you about this episode, to summarize it in just a few words, what would you tell him, Nathan?
It's like a summer episode, I guess.
Wait a second.
That's what you said. It's spooky.
What?
Wait, no, I don't. I just tell him I'm confused. I don't know.
Nathan's been under the water too long. Just Kelly, what about you?
I'd say Pinky and the Brain go back to the beach.
Yes.
Because remember there was that movie with Pee Wee Herman.
And he only was in it like for a segment, but yes, that was the highlight of the entire movie. The rest of the movie, I don't remember much of that movie other than Pee Wee Herman saying "the bird is the word," which was cool. It's Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon, and it's like they're kids, right?
I have no idea, but I saw it in the movie theater with my older sisters, so I don't know.
I saw it. I saw it a few times on cable as a kid, and including, I think it was so family friendly. I think they put it on at a church gathering for a youth group thing when I was in middle school as well. Or
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about that because of obviously the second segment having caricatures of Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon, and thinking of Back to the Beach and how like, oh yeah, my parents would watch that and go, oh, I remember this, I remember them, and it being kind of a nostalgic kind of trip. And how now we're the age of my parents. We're going and we're doing the nostalgic thing back at the thing. It's all kind of weird and connected in a weird way. So yeah, there you go. We're doing with it. Hey, it's history repeating itself. Well, anyway, Nathan, can you please tell us, when did this episode first premiere?
All right. I'm so glad you asked. This episode premiered on February 21st, 1998, which was, of course, the same day that, look at this. It was the same day that the family that points together, knives together came out.
Hey, that's our
What?
next. We've just reviewed that one.
Yeah. So
that means that we're gonna have a lot of repetitious facts.
No, here, I got all new stuff. Stuff.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay. So this is really good. On this same day, the Pope honored 20 new cardinals. 2 of them were Americans. They're on the prelates that elevated in the outdoor ceremony at the Vatican. I don't know what that means, but they were marked by the pageantry and tradition. So that's pretty cool. Look at that.
So yeah, Nathan, speaking as a non-Catholic, has no idea.
Yeah, I know what all that means. This was one day before the 1998 Winter Olympics closed. And the closing ceremony was in Nagano, Japan. I don't know how to pronounce that city, but that's where that was at. Oh, look. Oh, there's so many movies came out this week. And so, okay.
Movie.
Senseless. I never saw it. That was in theaters. This is one that came straight to video. Beauty and the Beast's Belle's Magical World.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I don't think I've seen that one.
Know if I saw that one.
Enchanted Christmas, but
that's the one I've seen.
That one came out, and I don't know. I don't think I've seen.
So, Elmo Palooza aired on ABC. It was a 1-hour event, and later that would come out on VHS in April, and it had its own CD and everything. Elmo Palooza with Elmo. So there we go.
Senseless looks like it stars one of the Wayans folks, and it says David Spade's in it. David
Spade's in it as well. That was the biggest movie of that
Wayans. Week. Oh yeah, Marlon Wayans, Matthew Lillard, who is live action Shaggy, I believe, and David Spade. And in this episode, there's a maitre d' in Brain's Day Off that looks, I think, like a caricature of David Spade. Although he's doing a French accent, so it's they couldn't figure out his accent. Anyway, it looked like a David Spade guy to me. Well, I think let's go ahead and get right into our discussion of today's episode. And we got to start, of course, with Brain's Night Off. And Brain's Night Off was written by Charles M. Howell IV, Wendell Morris, and Tom Shepard, and it was directed by Kirk Tingblad. And Kelly, why don't you tell us what happens here in Brain's Night Off?
Okay. So, Brain wants to take a night off.
Sword!
You mean we're not going to try to take over the...
Don't even say it, Pinky. I don't even want to hear those words. Because tonight is our night off. All the best authorities on motivational psychology agree. You must recreate. Why, the very etymology of that word says it all. Recreate. You must recreate yourself by pursuing diversions apart from your quotidian responsibilities.
Your tongue is making really strange noises, Brain.
He decides not to take over the world for the night and goes and hangs out with Pinky, and they go to a restaurant. And he's like, no shop talk, but they don't know what else to talk about.
Shop talk is off limits tonight. I won't talk about taking over the world, and you won't talk about whatever it is you do. We'll just have to find something else to discuss.
Like what?
Oh, say, I know. I read this interesting article the other day. It was all about the nocturnal breathing patterns of the acorn barnacle. I'll bet you never knew a crustacean could snore, did you?
No, I didn't know that.
They're at this really fancy restaurant, and they have little booster seats because they're little tiny mice. And so Brain orders like a prawn dish and jumbo prawns, and Pinky wants macaroni and cheese. And he's like a kid, getting chicken nuggets at like a 5-star restaurant.
I love how I asked for they should have pictures on the menu, like Denny's.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
You should have pictures on your menu, like Denny's.
And because he doesn't know what any of the stuff on the menu is, and the waiter's actually really nice. He says, "I'll see if the chef can grant your request." Because he said it's not on the menu, but some of those really fancy places, if you pay for it, they'll make it, I guess. So he comes back and he has the food, and then Brain starts talking about the carrots and how they're kind of soggy and they should be al dente. And Pinky's practically like in his plate of macaroni and cheese, which actually looks more like spaghetti, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't on the menu. They had to make do with what they had, and they did not have the correct noodles.
Your jumbo prawn, sir, and your macaroni and cheese.
Are these supposed to be steamed carrots? These are limp. Steamed carrots should be served al dente. And look at that macaroni and cheese. The cheese is all stringy.
No, it's okay, Brain. Please don't make a scene.
Right. So Brain's complaining about that, and his voice is getting louder, and the chef comes out and asks him if there's a problem, and Brain's just like, no, it's no good. You call yourself a restaurant, just that kind of thing, and just freaking out. And the chef, instead of apologizing or offering to remake anything, just insults them, and Brain gets even angrier, and they get kicked out of the restaurant.
I'm afraid I don't like your tone, sir.
My tone? Who's the customer here anyway?
Not you, buddy.
Well, there goes his tip.
After they leave, the other patrons are like, he was right. The food's not good. I don't know why I'm still eating this. This is not good. And they all are in agreement, and they say that Brain should run for office. So it's like, they had like the presidential music going on in the background, and they're going to vote for him in the next election, kind of thing. It's crazy. So, but they still want to have fun, so they end up going to Toys V Wee, which is Toys R Us, which doesn't exist anymore.
I guess it sort of does. I think, what did I hear last? They're putting Toys R Us inside of Macy's department stores. So what's worse than one failing store? You put it inside another failing store. So or vice versa. I don't know.
Yes. So, and I'm sad because I went to the Toys R Us in New York City, and they had a giant T-Rex that moved.
Wow.
From Jurassic Park. I got it to the top of the escalator, and I did that thing that people hate. I just stopped.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks. I was just like, oh my goodness. But and then I'm like, it's a dinosaur.
Bingo. Dino DNA.
So they're shopping, and it's cute because Pinky's looking at what looks to be kind of like little Barbie clothes or something. There are these little suits. And he asked one of the employees to take it out of the package so that he could try it on. And she's like, well, it's a little unusual, but okay. And the boss sees her do it. And he's like, you're not supposed to take them out of the blister pack. And which I actually got an employee in trouble for that at Disney. I wanted to try on a Baby Yoda bracelet. And I'm like, can I try it on? Because I don't know if it'll fit. And she took it out of the package, and the boss right in front of me is like, you're not supposed to do that. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know if it fits? I'll buy it, try it on, it won't fit, and I'll bring it back.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, the boss is yelling again.
Again? Is this the way you treat your valued employees? No wonder you can't find good service anymore. If every time a clerk tries to help a customer, she gets yelled at. You people shouldn't put up with this. You ought to organize, form a union, stand up to your boss.
Listen, Trotsky, this I don't need. You're out of here.
It sort of reflects some of the worker mentality going on now. Like they're just kind of fed up with being treated like that in a lot of places, and so
the brain needs to go into Amazon warehouses.
So Brain and Pinky leave. They're just kind of disgusted with everything. And so then the employees go out because they're like, what happened to him? We want him to form our union, and you know, we really like him. And they run into the people who had left the restaurant and like, did you see a guy with like little pointy ears or little ears? And yeah, we want him to run for president. Like, you know, we love him. And so then it even reaches the newscast.
People all over town are looking for someone they describe as a small, large-headed figure with big ears.
He's a natural leader. He fights for what's right.
Nobody knows what happened to this feisty, diminutive fellow who in one night seems to have inspired people all across the city.
And Brain's completely oblivious to all of this. He doesn't even know. He's like, I'm a failure. Like, I suck. I can never take over the world. And so he and Pinky are back at the lab, and it looks like they made like a mashed potato mountain, which is a callback to the mashed potato mountain in Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
This means something. This is important.
And which is one of my favorite scenes from that movie.
See, I was going to say it was just a callback to earlier in the episode.
No.
He did mention it. Like Pinky had mentioned something about doing a mashed potato.
That was a reference to
yes.
If you could do anything you wanted to do tonight, anything that is, as you say, fun, silly willy, what would it be?
Oh no. Get a giant truckload of mashed potatoes and build a magic fairyland.
Maybe I should choose the evening's activity.
Well, you like it, I'll eat what I like. Rudolph reference, sorry. So yeah, for me personally, it was a callback to Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So Pinky crowns him like king of the fairy people or something, because he's made like a fairy castle out of these mashed potatoes.
I don't know why you put up with me, Pinky. Let's face it, I'm a failure.
Here, Brain, you can be king of the fairies.
Thank you, Pinky. I'll need all the encouragement I can get to muster my self-confidence for tomorrow night.
Why, Brain? What are we going to do tomorrow night?
Have fun the only way I know how, by trying to take over the world.
How ironic. Once again, the brain can't catch a break. So, what were some of the, let's see, references? I mean, yeah, there was the Close Encounters thing right there, alluding to that, but I can't really think. I mean, they mentioned Trotsky, I think, at one point being a kind of the socialist, communist kind of workers' rights thing going on, I suppose.
Yeah, right around the time of the Russian Revolution.
Yeah, so, but really there wasn't too many references to much stuff that I can really come up with. But what did you think about this first segment? This is one of our, more popular ones talking that, listeners have mentioned. What did you think about it? Let's start with you, Nathan.
I liked that Brain was like benevolent leader kind of thing. Like, I mean, he's just like, oh, he would actually be a good leader. Like, and he actually seems to care about the, justice and, like things should be just and fair for everyone. And yeah, I mean, it shows that like, he's not just completely delusional and that he's not just like this, I don't know, evil villain,
Yeah, he's definitely not a super villain in this.
He doesn't see himself as that for sure. He see himself as more of a.
He's trying to take down the bad people in his mind, who he sees as taking advantage of other people. Although he was a little bit of a Karen inside that restaurant, I gotta admit. Like, that was a little kind of like, come on, dude. Like, it's just carrots. Like, for that to inspire.
I mean, but for the amount of money you're going to be paying there, I would think you want good carrots.
If
I'm at like McDonald's or something, like, oh yeah, don't make a scene. But if you're paying like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for
and the
a
food
dish,
is that bad? I thought it was interesting hearing Rob Paulson voice one character and then voice the very next character, and both not liking the food. It's like, yeah,
he's right. Yeah, he's right. All right. That guy is a boy.
I was just like, can they mix up the voice actors for the different people? Because it really.
And then Pinky says something, and then Dr. Scratch and Sniff comes in, and
Yakko comes in.
Yakko's there.
It's great.
What's going on?
Anyway. Carl Weezer for no reason whatsoever. Anyway, Kelly, what about you? Did you like this first segment?
Yeah, I thought it was cute.
I like the segment. I like the part right there where they don't really have much to talk about when they sit down to dinner with each other, other than stuff that's going on basically at work or whatever. Like, they have to this article I read, and like they can't really relate to each other outside of their normal patter and conversations, which is kind of funny because I find the same thing, like when you're dating or you're married to somebody and you kind of spend a lot of time with that one person, you talk, there's nothing really to what you can't talk about what happened today. They were there with you the entire time. So what do you do when you're out to dinner with that person? Well, I don't know. So I get I related to that kind of thing of, as a husband and wife couple with my wife going, what do we talk about? I don't know. Anyway, very cute. And I thought the same thing of this kind of really does go against the whole supervillain idea. I've come to believe now, that the brain in the reboot, in fact, the Warners and just everything about the reboot is not really a continuation, but it's just a different universe. It's a multiverse, and that's why they can act a little bit differently. They can look a little different, they can act a little different, and sometimes it matches up, and sometimes it doesn't. It's because it's a multiverse. Why the heck not? Everything, that's the hip thing to do these days, right, kids? Yeah. Anyway.
We have a formal announcement to make. Pinky and the Brain will be right back.
I got this crazy craving for a honeycomb.
Honeycomb, honeycomb, me one honeycomb.
The craving just hit me, too.
Honeycomb, me one honeycomb.
I can't resist that craving, man.
Hey, come on.
Ooh, sweet and crunchy.
Honeycomb's so sweet and crunchy, like toasted honey.
Yeah, in that weird shape.
They want honeycomb. Let's get some. Craving won't be denied.
Honeycomb cereal is an irresistible part of this complete breakfast.
I've got a crazy craving for
honeycomb.
Hey, Dad, this is Pinky, and you're listening to Animanicast. You know why? Because you're going to take over the world.
Narf.
Let's go ahead and get into our next segment discussion, and this is Beach Blanket Brain. Beach Blanket Brain was written by Wendell Morris and Tom Shepard, and it was directed once again by Kirk Tingblad and Nathan. What happens here in Beach Blanket Brain?
Oh, okay. So it's the 1960s, and Brain is surfing in the ocean. He looks so cool. Everyone on the beach sees him. He's like, I don't know. He's a cool hip daddy-o kind of guy.
It helps that I taped my feet to the boards, Pinky. It's all part of my plan to win over today's surf-crazed youth.
Yeah. Is that part of your plan too, Brain?
Pain always seems to be an unavoidable side effect of my plans, Pinky.
It turns out his feet are taped to his I guess it's a popsicle stick that he's using for a surfboard. But it's cool. None of the teens notice. He goes by Brain Daddy.
Yeah. That was Brain Daddy, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. The song's called Brain Doggy. So it's like, so he's Brain Doggy and Pinky's Pink Daddy.
Pink
is how
Daddy.
it goes.
There we go.
That's
yes.
Okay. So
Doggies and daddies.
the coolest names, the hippest names.
Yeah.
Daddy-O and Doggy Boy or something.
Doggy-O.
Everyone is liking him except for Cranky. Doesn't seem to like him very much. It's I don't know. I felt kind of like a Chicken Boo kind of feel to it, where everyone's. But yeah, just this one guy's like, yeah, no, he's not cool.
For I am one with Mother Ocean. Wherever her currents take me, that is where I make my home.
Brain Doggy. Wow, Phil.
You'll have to park your stick somewhere else, man. This is our beach.
Nobody owns the sand, Beach Boy.
Yeah, Mr. Rule Maker Man with a tan. He's Brain Doggy. Wherever the home bakes him is where he takes his cake or something.
They end up going to a fat boy kind of place where they're playing music and Brain's dancing, but gets in a fight with Cranky, who steps on him.
You're gonna pay, Goo Goo.
I'd like to see you make me. Goo, 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 goo.
You know the rules, Cranky. No squares, no parking on the dance floor, and no squishing the customers allowed.
But Big McGarity.
Book 'em, Daddy-O.
Gets kicked out of the restaurant. So the next day they play Surf Chicken. So this is all because Brain wants to be cool to the teens so that he can give them his sunscreen lotion that will mind control them so that they will like him, even though they'll already like him. I don't know. Anyways,
but they'll do anything.
But they'll really like him.
Yes.
They'll like him enough to put the sunscreen on, and then they'll really like him enough to help him take over the world.
Yes.
So, he's gonna build an army of
LSD
teens.
Laden sunscreen.
I don't know.
Some weird stuff going on in that sunscreen.
It's gonna be weird, but they're gonna have this surfing contest called Surf Chicken, and they have to go into the Skull Rocks, and whoever can stay on longest wins. And Brain actually wins this competition.
Something smells like chicken, Helmet Hair.
My hair is really cool.
And Cranky, jumps off his surfboard first, but his girlfriend, what is it? Dennett? No, it's not Dennett, is it?
Dennett, I believe, yeah.
Okay. She runs over to Cranky. You'd think that she was going to run over to Brain since he won, but no. Ran over to Cranky, and Brain's a little upset, but he's like, well, at least all these other people will still put on my sunscreen. And then he looks, and they're all frozen, stuck. They can't move.
Zord, this might be a stupid question.
I'm used to them, Pinky.
I know, but how will your Surfnik warriors be able to march when they can't even move?
Like Brain Doggy is my leader, man.
Rule our world, Brain Doggy.
So apparently in the lab, he had done all his testing using fluorescent lights, and the UV lights that work differently. I don't know. Hopefully the sunscreen works, so they're not going to get sunburned at the very least. And Cranky finds it. He's going to use it as the hair club for men thing, I think. And also there were sea chimpanzees were in the ocean, probably, according to Brain and Pinky. So There you go.
So throughout this whole thing, like Pinky is kind of obsessing over sea chimpanzee.
I can't say it. Yeah,
okay.
I want to say sea monkeys is what you want to say.
You want to say sea monkeys, but no. And he's eating these like cod popsicle, like it just looks like a fish head on a stick, and he's licking it. So it looks so gross.
Stay focused on our goal.
You mean to lure the sea chimps to shore using banana-flavored chumsicles as bait?
Once and for all, there are no monkeys in the ocean, Pinky.
I related to that because as a kid, I still like sea monkeys. I really like those sea monkey ads in the back of comic books, and it just caught my imagination. And so when I saw them at the store, I got them, and I kept them alive for a very long time. In fact, 9 times out of 10, and I probably had them at least 10 times growing up, they died from being spilled. It happened. It will happen eventually. That aquarium will be knocked over, and those sea monkeys will go everywhere. Poor guys. I used to have everything. I had like the super deluxe aquariums for sea monkeys. I love those things, and they don't look anything like them, but it's fun to say you have a sea monkey. Anyway, so there's a lot of references in here, obviously mostly to the surfing movies with Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello. One of the things is Cranky right there. I think his name's Cranky Spamalon or something like that. And he only says his full name one time.
Oogie jeepers. Change the label and this stuff would make a great hair cream. Then everyone could have hair just like mine. Baby, I'm going into business. Cranky Spamalon's Hair Helmet Club for Men.
But it was some cute stuff going on between him and Danette Spoonabello. Danette, by the way, is voiced by Julie Brown, who you might remember was the voice of Julie Bruin in Tiny Toons, and then Minerva Mink in Animaniacs. And I really did like the whole bit of, put that ring on my finger. No, you can't do this, Cranky, until I get that ring on my finger.
Hey, whose side are you on? Are you my girl or what?
Until I see a ring on this finger, I'm not sure I can be your girl anymore.
And then he finally does it, and she's like, I just wanted a promise ring or a mood ring. That's what she wanted. Anyway, funny stuff.
But no take-backs. No.
Take-backs.
All I wanted was a mood ring.
Oh, well, in that case.
But I'll take it.
So anyway, there's cute stuff right there. Billy West is in this one. And he's voicing, the character's name is Dodo Head. That's how these surf movies, I don't have much, my only connection to a lot of surf movies is just whatever ones they were making fun of on Mystery Science Theater growing up. That's all, the only actual 1960s surf movies I ever watched. There is a deleted scene where, the brain talks about at the end about being rescued by the sea chimps, and Keith Tucker actually did storyboards of this, and you can find them on his website and on the wiki for this episode as well, where you get to see what would have happened, the brain going down into the water and seeing the silhouettes of the sea monkeys. I think they actually say sea monkeys in the storyboard. So, yeah, he was going to be rescued. And I could see why, like I rewatched, I watched the episode and then watched it again after seeing the storyboards, and I could see why that sequence was cut out, because it really would have it could have taken a lot of the tension out of the scene, perhaps. I think it works really well the way it goes. Just there's Cranky, and then immediately steps on the brain on the way over there, which was pretty funny. There's also the Bob's Big Boy. They go there, and it's not called Bob's Big Boy, it's called something else, but it's it's Bob's Big Boy stuff. Which is still around in California.
The Big McGarrity's restaurant.
Who McGarrity is, but I'm sure the writers know. Pickleberry Pooch is shown on Pinky's comic, and that's kind of a mashup of Huckleberry Hound, Yogi Bear, and perhaps who's that pink guy? Is it? I want to say Snagglepuss. It's not Snaggletooth, Snagglepuss, I think. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. And of course, we have Brain Doggy Mambo. That was nominated for an Emmy in 1999, for Outstanding Original Song.
Soon I'm going to rule the surf set. I'll be king of the beach.
Then can we adopt a new pet, a sea chimpanzee named Cheech? Hey!
It got in my head for about a day or so. What did you two think about the song?
It was good. It was cute, but it wasn't nearly as earwormy as you made it sound like it would be.
It sounded a lot like the original song, The Beach Party. What's the movie called? Beach Blanket. What's this all based off of?
Oh, that's right. It's the whole thing is I don't know. I have not listened to
Beach Blanket Bingo.
Blanket Bingo.
If you watch on YouTube, they have the first like 4 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
And it includes this song, and it goes Beach Blanket Bingo. Beach Blanket Bingo.
Wow.
So yeah, there's the first 4 minutes, and I thought it was like a scary movie based on the title cards. Like they would do the names and like boom, and I'd be like, is this a comedy or like a scary? Because it kind of, I don't know, it kind of had the feeling of like one of those Scream movies or something, because you just see like girls in like bikinis and things like that, but then like boom, and you're like, oh, I don't know, like they're having too much fun. Yeah, they're gonna have too much fun. Something bad's gonna happen. Like I'm like, I don't know. I didn't watch the movie, but I saw the first 4 minutes of it, and I'm pretty sure it's not a scary movie.
Probably not.
Because like,
well, the title definitely doesn't sound scary. That's for sure.
No.
What did you think about that?
And like Don Rickles is in it.
Oh, Don Rickles was in a lot of stuff like this. And that's the thing. From the I think if there was ever a formulaic kind of thing, it was these surfing movies where it's like you have to have the kids, you have the two.
But this is like an iconic one. This is like the big one is Beach Blanket Bingo.
I've seen a bunch of other ones on Mystery Science Theater. It seems like there's always the girl and then the guy that she's supposed to be teamed up with. Mm-hmm. The one that is kind of the competition. There's always the goofy friend, and then there's always like an adult or two to say, these crazy kids. Oh, what am I going to do with them? And yeah, that's Don Rickles in that, I'm sure. So
yeah.
But speaking of old people, the band right there they had was with the Itchy Fishy. I thought that was which is another very kind of thing you would see, I think, in a lot of these surfing movies, was let's go to the party, and then they would highlight some no-name band, usually never something. I mean, I don't know if the Beach Boys are in any of these, but they would always be almost like sort of like the Beach Boys, but not the Beach Boys. And obviously in this case, making fun of the fact that they're all very old. Itchy Fishy.
Come on, everybody, do the Itchy Fishy.
Hey, look, it's Brain Doggy.
What a lame dancer.
That should have been nominated for original song. I don't know how this Brain Doggy Mambo or whatever is that original, if it's that close to Beach Blanket Bingo. I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost identical.
See, I don't know. I don't think I guess it's a good thing they didn't win the Emmy, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. I think that's pretty much it for references and for things like that. Is there any additional things in Beach Blanket Brain that we want to talk about? Nah. Let's just move on to the water tower rating. Well, out of 5 water towers, how many would you give this episode of Pinky and the Brain? Kelly, let's start with you.
I think I would give it 5. I thought both segments were really strong.
All right. And Nathan?
I'll give it 4.5. I don't really know why, but I don't know. It's really good, and yeah, I think there's probably better ones, but this was like really good. I really enjoyed Brain's day off and him on the beach. You know, it's just classic Pinky and the Brain. It's very good.
Yes, I'll give it a 4.5 as well. I really enjoyed the exploration of Brain's character and how he, you know what, if given the chance. If he just doesn't try so hard, it could happen. But he's, it's just not to be. Poor Brain. But I did like this episode quite a bit, and thanks to our patrons for suggesting it, because I had a lot of fun watching it. Well, that'll do it for today's discussion. Let's go ahead and get to some contact information. Kelly, where can people find you online?
I'm on Twitter, Yoda Princess, YODAPRNCSS.
All right, and Nathan, what about you?
Oh, man. I'm on Twitter. JingoFT. That's me.
Oh, cool. Well, as for the Animaniacast, we're, of course, on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and some other things. And, of course, we're over at retrozap.com. You can go to our RetroZap archives by going to animanicast.com. That'll take you right on over there. We're a proud member of the RetroZap family of podcasts. Head on over to RetroZap for great podcasts and articles. It's up there every single day. It's a great site with great people, and if you want to talk to us and them as well, you can head over to the Discord, which the welcome link is discord.animanicast.com. And if you like our show and you want to support it and get a bunch of bonus audio, head on over to patreon.com/animanicast. You can not only get access to hours and hours and hours and hours of commentaries for Animaniacs episodes, but a bunch of other cool perks as well, so check it out. Well, that'll do it for today's episode. So, for Nathan and Kelly, this is Joey saying, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
This podcast is not endorsed by Warner Brothers or Amblin Entertainment and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures, Freakazoid, the Warner Brothers logo, all names, pictures, and sounds are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of the Animanicast unless otherwise indicated.
And they will do whatever I say.
Even this?
Sadly, today's youth would not need hypnotic encouragement to do that, Pinky.